Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to start multiplying binomials. So remember that binomials are polynomials that have two terms. So in order to multiply them, you have to distribute each term that's in the first binomial to each term that's in the second binomial. And then you combine like terms. Okay, so in order to multiply binomials, there's two different methods that I want to show you. So the first method is called double distribution. And this is where you distribute the first term of the binomial and then you distribute the second term. So look at this first binomial here. The first term of that binomial is x. So the first thing I would want to do is get that x and distribute to the entire second binomial. Then I would get the second term, which is that positive 3. And then that one also has to get distributed to the second binomial. So this is why it's called double distribution, because you have to distribute twice. Okay, let's go ahead and do that math really quickly. X times x is x to the second power. X times negative 5 is minus 5x. Okay, and then 3 times x is positive 3x. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And then last step you do is you always combine your like terms. I have 2 in the middle that have x. So this would be x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay, this one, as long as you're keeping track of what you're distributing, is super easy to use this method. But if you're one of those that wants to be a little bit more organized, then box method might be the way that you want to go. So for box method, you're going to write each term of the binomials on the perimeter of the box, meaning down the side and across the top. So this first binomial, x plus 3, I'm going to write that down the side, x plus 3. Then the second binomial, I'm going to write that across the top, x minus 5. And then we multiply corresponding row and column. So if I have the first row, first column, I would do x times x, and that gives me x squared. Then I'm going to do first row, second column, that's negative 5 times x, negative 5x. Okay, now we're done with this top row. Now let's do the bottom row. Positive 3 times x is positive 3x. And last square is positive 3 times negative 5, which gives me negative 15. Okay, so then when I take all of these terms out of the box, I want to combine like terms as I do that. And as I'm looking through here, my like terms are going to be on that diagonal. Both of those have x's. So x squared is the only one that's squared. Then combining these two, negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2x. And then I still have my negative 15. Okay, so you're still using double distribution. I'm still getting this first term and distributing it, and then getting the second term and distributing it. But the box just helps us keep everything more organized. See how we got the same answer regardless of what method we used. Okay, so we're going to do 6 more examples, but the first 3 we're going to use double distribution, and the second 3 we're going to use box method. Okay, so let's look at the left column where it says multiply using double distribution. Okay, so just like before, first term, m, I want to multiply that to the entire second binomial. So m plus 2. So I'm done with that first term. I'm done with this m. Okay, so then now let's do the second term, the plus 5. I'm going to use a different color here. And we want to distribute that to both terms. So plus 5 gets multiplied to m plus 2. Okay, now let's go through and do all of our multiplying. M times m is m squared. M times 2 is 2m. 5 times m is 5m, and 5 times 2 is 10. Now we need to combine our like terms. The 2 in the middle both have m, so we're going to put those together. So first one, m squared, that's the only thing that has to the second power. Then the 2 in the middle, 2 plus 5 is 7, so plus 7m, and then plus 10. That's our final answer. Okay, next one, 2b minus 3 times b plus 4. So first term, 2b, needs to get multiplied to the entire second binomial, so times b plus 4. Then our second term, minus 3, needs to get multiplied to the entire second binomial. Okay, now let's do our multiplying. 2b times b, I still keep the coefficient 2, and then now since there's two b's, it's going to be b squared. 2b times 4 is plus 8b. Negative 3 times b is negative 3b. And negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Okay, now we're going to simplify and combine like terms as we go along. The first term is the only one that has b squared, so 2b squared. The 2 in the middle both have b, so we're going to combine. 8 minus 3 is 5, so plus 5b. And then I still have my minus 12 at the end. Okay, and then one more like that. Have 4x minus 1 times 2x minus 5. Okay, first term, 4x. We're going to multiply that to the entire second binomial, so times 2x minus 5. Okay, then we're going to get our second term, minus 1, and multiply that to the entire second binomial. So minus 1, parentheses, 2x minus 5. Okay, let's go through and do all of our multiplying. 4x times 2x. So start with the numbers. 4 times 2 is 8. And then the letters. X times x is x to the second power. Okay, then 4x times negative 5 is negative 20x. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. And negative 1 times negative 5 now turns it to a positive 5. Let's go through and simplify. 8x squared is the only one that has to the second power. The 2 in the middle both have x, so we're going to combine. Negative 20 minus 2 is now negative 22x. And then we still have our plus 5. Okay, so that is multiplying using double distribution. Okay, but I also want to practice box method. In fact, I prefer box method because it is more organized. So let's do 3 examples using box method. Number 4 is p plus 8 times p minus 3. So see how there's 2 terms in each of these? So when you draw your box, you're going to want to draw a 2 by 2 box. It needs to have 2 columns and 2 rows. Okay, the first binomial, I'm going to write that one down the side. So I'm going to write p plus 8. The second binomial, I'm going to write that across the top, p minus 3. Okay, now for the inside, we're going to multiply row and column. So for this first one, I have p times p, which gives me p to the second power. Okay, now I'm going to go to this box here. P times negative 3 gives me negative 3p. Now moving to the bottom row, 8 times p is 8p. And then last square, 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. Okay, now all the terms in the box, we're going to take them out, but we're going to simplify as we go. Only one term has p squared, so that one's going to stay the same. We have 2 terms that have p, so we're going to put those together. 8 minus 3 is 5, positive 5. So we'll have plus 5p. And then minus 24 is the only just regular number. So this is our answer. Okay, let's do 2 more. N minus 7 times 5n minus 6. Let's draw our box. Two columns, 2 rows. N minus 7 down the side. 5n minus 6 across the top. Okay, multiplying 5n times n gives me 5n squared. Then up here, negative 6 times n is negative 6n. Let's go to bottom row. 5n times negative 7 is going to be negative 35n. And then last square, negative 6 times negative 7 is positive 42. Okay, so let's take these terms out of the box. There's only one term that has n squared, so 5n squared. There is 2 terms that have n, so we're going to put those together. Negative 6 and negative 35 would give us negative 41, so minus 41n. And then we still have plus 42 at the end. Okay, and then last question. 2w plus 7 times 3w plus 2. Let's draw our box. 2 columns, 2 rows. First binomial down the side, 2w plus 7. Second binomial across the top, 3w plus 2. Now let's do our multiplying. 3w times 2w. Well, I know that 3 times 2 is 6, and then w times w is w squared, so 6w squared. Then this square here, 2 times 2w is 4w. Bottom row, 3w times 7 is 21w. And last square, 2 times 7 is 14. Okay, so let's take these out of the box. 6w squared is the only one with second power. Okay, then we have 2 terms that have w. 21 plus 4 gives me 25, so plus 25w. And then I still have my plus 14 at the end. Okay, and those 3 were done using box method. So whichever method you prefer, you don't have to be using both like the way we did. You could just pick one method and keep doing that one every single time, but I just wanted to show you some options. Okay, so this is multiplying binomials. Let me know if you guys have any questions.